Hey guys, it's Chris. I'm coming to you today with a super duper interesting video. This could be a disaster or it could be wonderful. I'm not quite sure which yet. It's looking like, for some reason, oh, I have a light out, that's why, in my kitchen. There's not a whole lot of light in this, but I can edit it. Anyway, so if you guys saw in one of my Aunt Smellman videos, I purchased one of these handy dandy doodads. This is a hot knife, and this is to cut through harder wax. This would not be used to cut through a loaf like this, which is a BSF loaf, which is a softer wax. This would be to cut through something like this. This is a pie from Lene's Wax Creations. Her wax tends to be more crumbly and harder to cut through. I've noticed I have cut up some of her loaves before, and they have been very, let me see, let me try to, I'll move this down so you guys can see. They've been very crumbly. The way they cut has just kind of been, I don't know how to say it, just very super duper crumbly. So this is an embed that already popped off. So we will pop this over. Here we go. Into our pie tin. And what I was hoping is I could cut through something without having to remove the embeds. That was my whole purpose of this. So we shall see if this little handy dandy doodad does it. Trying to see here. Lengthwise, it's not quite long enough for loaves like this. You can see it would definitely, oops, you can see it would definitely be long enough. This sucker goes up to 875 square feet. And excuse me if you guys see my pajamas. I'm in my jammies. 875 not square feet. 875 degrees. So, what I'm going to do to leave out anything to chance that, you know, God forbid I touch this, but you can dial it down. Some people said be careful about the flash point. I think the lowest is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, which I'll start off with that one. I don't quite know what that's going to do. And then it goes to like 420. They said be careful of the flash point. I don't know. Hopefully we don't have a fire going on here. But to be on the safe side, I'm going to get my UGG gloves, my oven gloves. Hold on a second. Okay, I have one. But that's really all I need. Because you know when you cut with a knife, you're tempted to do one of these thingies? Well, obviously, I don't want to do one of those. We will see how this cuts through. So, let's get this sucker plugged in. Let's plug the sucker in and see. I mean, this has a guard on it. You can remove this whole thing. I mean, I'd get like another 1.5 inches maybe. Okay. We're starting off on 1. Now, the good thing, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I have this on a cookie sheet, and it's wrapped in aluminum foil. So, because my boyfriend was saying, you're going to leave marks on your counter. I'm like, well, yeah, okay, duh. You know what I mean? I'm not quite sure how I'm going to cut this, to be honest with you. I was hoping to cut it in half and then do like pie slices. But because this is not big enough, I'm probably just going to have to do chunks. Now, when you hold the button down, you can see, this is on number 1, that the light goes on. When you take your finger off, the light goes off. Now, I know you do have to wait a little while for this thing to heat up. How long? I'm not sure. Should I put it in my face? Probably not. I kind of smell it heating up already. Let me see. There's no actual blade on this either, just so you guys know. Oh, it's melting a little bit. There's no actual like blade. It's not sharp. The heat is supposed to do all the cutting. So we shall see what happens. Kind of trying to cut into this embed using a sawing motion. It's definitely melting it, but you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it up a notch. Turn it up to like 1.5. We'll give this a little time. Let's see what this does. It's definitely melting the wax. And it's smoking. So, let's see. I was really hoping that this was going to cut like butter. Now the UGG glove is definitely a good idea. Still is not exactly cutting through the way I wanted. So I'm going to turn this sucker up to 2, which I know is 400 and something degrees. So, like I said, I do know that fragrance oils do have a flash point. I'm glad that I have you can see the smoke. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, this is definitely it's melting the embed. Is it cutting through the embed? Not necessarily. Do I wish that this handle had that I didn't have to keep my hand on this trigger? Absolutely. I'm going to have to let it go just for a second because there we go. Now, the biggest problem I'm having, I can tell this is definitely going to cut through the wax part. The embed, this is not cutting through. Oh, it smells good though. Wow. Now, as you guys know, with most wax, you're not going to have a real huge problem like this. It's not going to be a huge issue. I don't know why, for some reason, this embed, it just will not cut through for the life of me. Let me see if I turn the angle. Ugh, I have to let go of it. Because these things are used to cut foam. Wow. This is kind of making a big mess. I was really expecting once it got hot for it to just cut through like butter. mean, this is 400 and something degrees. What is the deal? Wow, I'm really shocked, guys. I am super duper shocked here. I mean, I guess if I didn't have this sucker, I wouldn't cut through this at all, right? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to live dangerously, and I'm moving this sucker up to 3. This is really crazy. You can see the wax congealing over here. If you can't see it right now, I will show it to you in a second. As soon as this heats up. I think this is like a little propane thingy right here that heats up the wax. But there is no lock button for this. I don't know if that's a safety feature or not. Wow. I'm in shock. I am really in shock. This is not cutting, you guys. Oh my god. This is insane. Okay. Well, now that I got that much done, let's see if I cut down. If I push down. Hold on. What I want to do is, let's see if I push down. If that will cut. Yep, that worked. Wow. You guys can't really see what's happening here, but I really had to go through a lot just to, and you can see the burning of the hot wax, just to cut that one little piece. That is amazing. That is really unbelievable. There's wax all over the place. Watch, my gun will catch on fire. Let's see. Okay, I have this thing turned up to 4, and it's bubbling the wax. So that's like at almost a boiling point. Wow. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys can see this, what I have done here. This is not what I thought it was going to be. What a shame. Nope. After all that, and it's just still chunking up. There we go. So, you guys know I have to let this thing cool off. So, look at, I have all this congealed or melted wax right here. This so you guys can see it. You can see right here all this melted wax. Just to cut this one piece. And look at it, didn't even come out all that good. Wow. That's pretty crazy. So like I said, I don't think anything would have cut through this. It's pretty nuts. Isn't it? I think it's pretty nuts. I don't quite know what I'm going to do with this contraption, doohickey now. I think I will probably bring it back. This is still super duper hot, so it has to cool down. I'm going to unplug it. I was going to say for ha-has, since I had this open, not that I need to, let me put this on here. I'm going to take out this BSF, which we all know is super duper soft wax. So let's see what happens. Oh, the oil's all stick to here. Let's see what happens when I cut a chunk of this. Because we know that I can cut this with a regular knife. That is known. But let's see what happens when I cut this with, obviously I will go on a number 1. Let's see what happens when I try and cut through. So I should do it this way. On a number 1. Definitely have to take the guard off. My hands are getting all waxy. But this does work. With one of these. So it cuts it nice. That's a super, super duper soft wax. So it does cut it very nice. As you can see. But still not exactly what I was looking for. And I believe the main reason for that is the fact that there's no blade on this. So, what I'm going to do with this one right here, I'm not sure. I think I will definitely have to resort to just breaking it with maybe with a hammer with chunks. But we all know too that I can just get out my handy dandy with BSF and these nice soft loaves and cut it so much more ease. Here you go. There's a nice chunk with a conventional loaf. I also have coming to me a wax saw, so I'm going to give that a shot too. which looks, for what it also looks like is one of those cheese cutters. So I have one of those coming to me. So I'll do a cutting video with that too. I'm not going to cut into this anymore because I do not have bags right now for it. I will just put this back in. But so guys, this ridiculous heavy duty tool was a bust. It was a bust. A total bust. Really surprised. But total bust. So I don't know. Anybody who does foam work, do you want to purchase it from me? 20 bucks. It's yours. Let me know, because if it cannot cut through this wax, then I don't see it cutting through anything else. And again, like I said, did it cut through this? Sure it did. But this was a lot easier. So we will just have to see. I have, like I said, the loaf cutter coming soon, and we will see. Very disappointed. Really am. I'm not going to lie. I was sure it was just going to cut through like butter. Just slide right through. But with both the super soft wax and the harder wax, it didn't. So don't waste your money, guys. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Take care.